ask me all the time, should I just, instead of dealing with all this drama, should I just wait until they're 18? No. And look, I get it. Dealing with a uncooperative co-parent is exhausting. You might feel like every step forward is met with 2 steps back. When you check out, whether it's physically or emotionally, regardless of what anybody tells you, it's going to leave a huge impact for your child. Even if the other parent is causing issues and making things difficult, most children don't see all of the drama. What they are going to see is that you're not around, and they may not know what the other parent is doing. They may not know that the other parent is literally blocking you from seeing them or stirring up problems. It may, for them, feel like you just stopped showing up, or like you just walked away, or like you just did not want them. And that leads to feelings of abandonment. They'll wonder why you weren't there for them. They will wonder if you ever plan on coming back into their life. And while you might plan on coming back into their life at 18, by then your child has spent years and years and years feeling like they weren't important enough to you. And that's hard to undo. You want to talk about the rate of children and the need for children in divided families to go through therapy? That is one reason why. And it's not fair for you to decide that because it's too hard for you. Ask yourself this question: how is it fair for you, the grown-up who created this child, with this other person that you say is so horrible, or this other person who is doing all of these horrible things to intentionally block your relationship with your other child? How is it fair for you to just walk away and leave your child, who never asked to be here in the first place, to essentially deal with and settle all of the things that come with the territory of abandonment on their own? Because if I had to guess, you're not going to think that the other parent is going to be able to provide them the support and the nurturing and the mental health care that they will need dealing with the abandonment, right? So how is it fair for you to walk away and they don't get to walk away from the problem? And on the flip side, you may think that it's going to be easy for you, but it's not going to be an easy road for you either. The thought of coming back to your child when they're 18 years old seems simple, but by then they'll be grown. And sure, you can explain everything to them then, but what people don't realize is that waiting can actually make things worse. Because why didn't you fight for me? Why did you let my other parent decide that we weren't going to have the relationship and not put up a fight? By the time your child is 18 years old, they've had years and years to create their own narrative. And that narrative might not paint you in the best light. No matter how much you think your intentions were good, the reality is that rebuilding a relationship with a grown child is harder than staying present during those younger years, even when it's tough. And you'll have a lot of ground to cover, and there is a chance that your child will still feel resentful, if not completely disconnected altogether, even if you had valid reasons for stepping back. And almost certainly your child is going to need some therapy, especially if you try to walk into their lives as a grown adult. So why would you not try to help them through that process when they're actually a child and need the support, instead of waiting until they're an adult to then try to bombard your way selfishly back into their lives that you chose to miss out on because you ain't want to deal with drama with their other parent? So now we have this family dynamic that is centered in trauma and drama, and your child is feeling like they've missed out on years of having a relationship with you. For you, stepping away may seem like a temporary fix, but the emotional pain that you're going to experience watching those years pass by without being there for your child will also weigh on you. And that is no matter how solid you think you are and how on point you are and how much you can hide your emotions. There's a good chance that you're going to regret not pushing through even when it felt impossible. And think about this. Those years that you are choosing to miss out on are crucial for your child. You're missing out on their growth, their milestones, and more importantly, you're missing out on the influence that they need. Because the lessons that they could have learned from you, someone else are going to teach them. Your voice, it'll be absent from those formative years, and they're not going to think of things that you taught them when they need advice in life. And once that time is lost, you can't get that time back. Do you really want the other parent to be the one that's teaching your child all of the things that they need to learn about life and how to be a human being and how to treat people and what kind of relationships to have with people and whether they're going to be a upstanding citizen or someone who is involved in chaos and always doing the wrong thing? Because if you walk away and this person that is doing all these things to make sure that you don't have a relationship with your child is the only person that's left to raise them, what do you think is going to happen? What kind of child do you think is going to grow up? You can't complain about the type of human being that your child becomes if you weren't there to help them become something else. But instead of throwing in the towel, it's important for your child for you to find ways to stay present even when it's hard. Document everything. If the other parent is creating obstacles, document it. Keep records of all of your efforts to be involved. That way, if things escalate legally, which they probably will need to, then you will have the proof to show that you tried. Seek mediation or legal help. If your co-parenting situation is not working out smoothly, sometimes a neutral third party can help. Mediators and family court specialists can help make sure that both parents are following the agreed upon terms, or you can ask the court to issue orders so that the other parent has to follow them and you're not relying on them to facilitate your relationship with your kid. Stay consistent. Even if the other parent is making things difficult, try your best to show up when and where you can. Call, text, attend events, be there for your child. Show up at their school if you're able to do that. Consistency will matter way more than you think that it does. And above all, what a lot of people miss the mark on is the need and the importance of focusing on your child's best interest. The drama between you and the other parent is just that. It's drama. But your relationship with your child is what really matters in the long run, right? And even if you have to jump through hoops, push through the frustration, or fight for your rights as a parent, it is worth it in the end. I ain't never had nobody end a lengthy custody battle where we were going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth, and they were able to ultimately reestablish or establish their relationship with their child and then be like, you know what, this wasn't worth it. Walking away might feel like it's an easy solution, but it really only causes more harm than good, both for you and for your child. And co-parenting can be hard, and I'm not downplaying that, but sticking it out, staying involved, being present for your child will make all of the difference. And yes, it might be uncomfortable, but not as uncomfortable as it'll be for your child if you decide to let the other person, the other parent, get the best of you and achieve the very goal that you say you don't want to happen, which is completely exclude you from their life.